And in the Draupadi Yuga, the process, Draupadi Yuga, the age of Lord Krishna, the process of attaining God was worshipping the God in the temples. So in Draupadi Yuga, there used to be huge temples, and Lord was worshipped with 64 items, very elaborate worship. And the worship used to go for many days together. In Kali Yuga also we have temples, but in temples you will find the pujaris' standards of worship is very meager and less. The pujari also just want to finish with the basic minimum thing and push off. During Diwali time, like we have experienced, the pujaris they come to home for Diwali worship, Diwali puja. So those days when you were very small, we have seen the pujari will come very peacefully. He will recite all the mantras and will perform elaborate puja for 2-3 hours, 4 hours. Diwali puja used to go on. Nowadays, pujari will come 15 minutes. He will say some mantra, do something, and he will chalo now dakshana. Because why? Because he has to go to next home now. Because the more number of homes he can cover, more the dakshana. So that's why this kind of deity worship, although it is still prevalent, we worship the Lord in the temples, which is very good. But this is not the main process for Kali Yuga of worshipping the Lord in the temple, because the actual standard of worship the Lord in the temples was very high. In Kali Yuga they are very less. So therefore this is not the process, and not everybody can do. Because for worshipping the Lord, to enter the sanctum sanctorum, the place of worship only, you have to be a qualified Brahmana. You have to be living a very pure life, pure habits, and you should not be you have to be taking 3 to 4 times bath in a day, pure fresh clothes. Now a person living in this world with all kind of duties, where he has time to follow all the standards. So therefore this deity worship is also not the process for Kali Yuga.
ద్వాపర యుగం అంటే ఫస్ట్ అయితే సత్యయుగం అయిపోయింది, ఆ తర్వాత త్రేతాయుగం అయిపోయింది, నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చింది ద్వాపర యుగం. అంటే ఇక్కడ కూడా అంటే భగవంతుడు శ్రీకృష్ణుడు అంటే చాలా రకాలుగా అంటే మనం అందరికీ భగవంతుడిని మనం ఆరాధించే విధానం అనేది సత్యయుగం నుంచి చూసుకుంటే మనకి ద్వాపర యుగం వరకు చాలా విభిన్నంగా మారిపోయింది. అదే మనం ఇప్పుడు చూసుకుంటే మన దగ్గర ఇప్పుడు కలియుగంలో టెంపుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, మనకి మందిరాలు ఉన్నాయి. అక్కడికి మనం వెళ్ళి మనం చాలా తొందరగా అంటే అప్పుడు అన్ని వేల సంవత్సరాలు కొన్ని వేల సంవత్సరాల తరబడి చేసే విధానము ఈరోజు గంటల తరబడి నిమిషాల తరబడికి పడిపోయింది. అండ్ రెండోది అటువంటివి చేయాలంటే బ్రాహ్మణులు చాలా శుద్ధిగా ఉండాలి. బ్రాహ్మణులు రోజుకి కనీసం 3 నుంచి 4 సార్లు స్నానం చేయాలి. వాళ్ళు పఠనము అంటే ఏదైతే వేద పఠనం ఏదైతే ఉందో పూర్తిగా వాళ్ళకి ఉచ్చరించే విధానం కానీ, వేద పఠనం అభ్యసించే విధానం కానీ, మనకు చెప్పే విధానం కానీ కాస్త టైం తీసుకొని మనకు చెప్పేది ద్వాపర యుగంలో జరిగింది. ఏదైతే కలియుగంలో అంతా నిమిషాల వ్యవధులు అంటే పక్కోడు మనం ఒక 1000 రూపాయలు ఇస్తే పక్కోడు 10,000 ఇస్తే పక్కోడికి ప్రాధాన్యత అయిపోతుంది. అంటే ఇదంతా మెటీరియల్గా మారిపోయింది. అర్థమైందా? అంత తేడా ఉంది సత్యయుగం నుంచి ఈరోజు కలియుగం వరకు.
So finally in Kali Yuga, what is the process? The chanting of the name of God. Because this is such a thing which does not require any of the above mentioned qualifications. You need not to be very learned in the scriptures to chant the name of God. You need not necessarily be very pure in your habits or in your lifestyle to begin the process of chanting the names of God. You need not to be even a grown-up person to be chanting. Even a child can chant the names of God. But the power of chanting of the names of God is much more than all the other 3 processes of meditation or yajna or worship. The effect and the impact of chanting name of God is much more than the above 3 processes. But the qualification requires are absolutely nothing what is required in the other processes. Why it is so? Because we all belong to Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga people are considered backbenchers. It's like in a classroom, sometimes the students are not very studious and good studies. So they sit on the back, and when the teacher teaches, they will draw some figures or play with, they are not very interested in studies. So when the exam comes, they will fail. So once they failed, second time they failed, third time they failed. Now the teacher is only concerned, and the school is concerned, the principal, the management is concerned, how to make these fellows pass. So they say to the backbenchers, see, we understood that you are never going to pass. Okay, so you just come on the examination day. We are giving you the question paper in advance. Study and write. They say, sir, you cannot do that also. Then the management say, okay, you just come on the day of the exam and we will give you answer sheet also. Answers also, you just copy the answers. They say, sir, we cannot do that also. Then the management say, okay, you just come to the examination hall and just write your name on the answer sheet. We will pass you. But the students are so notorious. They say, sir, we cannot come to the examination hall on the day of exams. So the management folds their hands and say, okay, we will come to your house with the answer sheet. You just acknowledge and just write name when we come.